It was to be seen, Michelle.
Mm.
I seen you, but for me, I felt the soul connection immediately once I knew you could see me.
Yes.
Because you didn't see me through all of the bullshit ego that I created over this 51 years on the planet, or however we all when we met. You
Yeah.
were seeing an ego. You were seeing the best of what I had. Of
Yes.
course, we met each other there, but there was still an awful lot of shite. But you went straight in and said, "I see you," and I went, "Oh, thank God,
Yeah.
someone sees me."
Yeah. And that is
No.
beautiful, no? That is I must say that since that time I started to see people much clearer. And when you just look at people and you make that soul connection, and exactly like you say, you leave away all that ego shit behind, and look straight into the eyes and connect with the soul of that person, then you really see who that person is, right? That strong, powerful, multidimensional being that's behind those eyes, and that is just wearing a beautiful avatar spacesuit, which we
Yeah,
call body.
this meat flesh suit that we're given. I was given one with a belly. I like mine. You like yours?
Well, mine has like a pump, so I
Oh,
can
yours
pump
goes up
up,
and
and I
down.
can I can I can inflate and deflate. But yeah, it's being inflated a little bit too often, but doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I'm still proud and happy of this suit that I have been given.
good. Well, the beautiful thing about making that soul connection is that you realize that you become each other's best friend and best coach, and you help each other create a new ego, one that serves the greater good, one that serves literally.
That's what I really like what you're saying there. A new ego, because in the spiritual community, there's so many people that say I don't have an ego anymore.
But sure, that's spiritual bullshit. Like,
I know that's a
you have
spiritual
to have an
ego.
ego. It's
You
the,
have
it's the
to.
spacesuit. It's
Yeah.
the avatar. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tied to the spacesuit, right? Where you cannot function, you cannot operate, you cannot drive the spacesuit without having an ego.
The ego is the interface. It's the interface. It's what allows the the great Godhead that you are, the Almighty Light that you are, it's pure divine white light, shaft that runs through your body, through your avatar,
Yes,
and it's the ego that you get to create because you're that light. The
yes,
ego that you get to create becomes the greatest manifest. It's here for the greater good.
yes.
Good.
But I must say that sometimes I caught my ego. Well, it has been playing, the boss for for many, many years, and so there are some parts of the ego that can be quite destructive. But once you understand it, I think, and create a new ego, or let the ego understand that it serves the soul, and it's a co-creator with the soul, and that it should do that, jointly, and not
Absolutely.
and not rule by
Absolutely.
itself, then you create a new ego that helps you navigate even in the spiritual world, but still is your best friend, right?
Yes, absolutely. And when you start on the path of cleansing the soul and starting to remove all of the lower frequency energies that you've stored within the body itself, because the body is your temple, but it's also your library. It stores all the information. Everything
Yeah,
that's ever happened to you in your entire lifetime, you may not remember, but it's in the body. The body remembers. It's in your DNA.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
in the
No,
DNA.
since conception, right? Since
Yeah.
conception and long before, it's true in your DNA. I saw this beautiful. Well, I read about this amazing, research that they've done, and what they proved with worms is that they had a specific. When they were triggered, they gave off a specific kind of light or glow,
Mhm.
and that went on went back 14 generations. So with that, they proved that
Wow.
there's epigenetic material, because that's epigenetics means above genetic, which is all the circumstances in your life and what you've experienced. Just that one trigger 14 generations back was carried on into the current generation. So, and that's what
That's
work.
absolutely amazing. Like when you
Yeah,
just have a look at that. If one was just to ponder on what you just said for a while, you start
yeah.
to realize that you are much greater than your physical body.
Yes, and that I agree with that, but that the physical body as well has so much depth, and it goes so much so far back that it has an intelligence
It
of
has
itself.
everything within it. Everything.
Yeah.
Everything that's contained within the earth, within the universe, within the body.
Yes.
It's an intergalactic spacesuit. It's an unbelievable bit of machinery. Like
It
God
is.
was really, really, really on
He
fire
was
today.
pretty smart. He had
He
a good
was like
day.
he was seriously, he was like, it's unbelievable. And we think we're our body. So we live this identified life and we're stuck, we're caught, and we don't even realize we have an ego. We're living through it. When you take control to start creating your own ego, you can never get rid of ego. It's impossible. Those that say I have no ego, unfortunately, it's not true. And I'm not going to turn around and say that's spiritual bullshit, because for them it's true, because that's what they believe. But they may be living in a state of bliss and they may be relaxed and calm and peaceful and zenned out. Yeah, man, I'm easy. And you will be. But you can't live like that. You have to start to manifest an ego that is for the greater good. So if you want to be a healer, be a healer. If you want to roof houses, roof houses. If you want to make shoes, make shoes. You get the opportunity once you start to realize that you are much greater than your physical body. Therefore, you can take control of the ego that you interface between the body and the soul that you are.
Yes, I fully understand what you're saying, but I do sense that a lot of people are struggling with the ego, either to make a distinction when the ego is talking, or is there anything else than an ego? Maybe it's just the ego talking all the time. And
it is.
It is. Yeah.
It is. And ego is just a label that we use. All of the character traits we develop for all the emotional values that we have. Each and every emotion that we experience creates a layer of our personality, our persona, our mask. It's Greek or Latin for mask, persona, mask. So we're creating these layers of mask, which is an extension of our physical body, that we cannot see it on our physical body because our body is only three-dimensional. So they say. That's what they say. We'll explain it in them labels, but that dimension is just explaining a bandwidth, which is a vibrational frequency that vibrates at a ceiling and a bottom. But if you increase the vibrational frequency of whatever is moving, that's a good question. We'll talk about that later. What's moving? It increases the vibration. Therefore, you'll have more experiences, greater highs and greater lows.
Yes.
That's outside the body, because the body is third dimensional. It can only vibrate at a certain frequency. It's a solid mass of atoms that have slowed right down, that they appear solid at this frequency, at this vibration. But outside that, you have the emotional bodies, this is where we feel all our emotions. That's what you have to master to understand the ego. You have to start to master emotions. So when you realize, I'm having an emotion, you have to be aware of them before you can even, I'm having an emotion. What's an emotion? But it's very simple, and it's not difficult. Like, we teach this in the house, emotional mastery. We're developing a Gloria, beautiful Gloria Turpin. She's one of the team, as you know. We will talk about Gloria. Gloria definitely come into conversations, but myself and Gloria, so beautifully, have channeled in an ascension program. So it's an ascension path where you come and be with us in the house for 8 modules, and you will start to realize who you are. We bring you into the understanding that you are much greater than your physical body. It'll be done through angelic frequencies. Gloria is amazing. She uses sound, and she channels. These are very unique light codes that activate the body and bring you. It's basically granting you what we'll offer. What we're able to hold and facilitate space for here is that you will come and completely elevate your being within 8 modules or 8 path steps. You'll become fully enlightened. I'm not saying we're there, but we're on the path.
Yeah.
So it's not that we're fully enlightened and come. That's nonsense. That's the ego saying something. But I don't know what it is. How can I say I am it? That's ignorance at that level. Whereas there's people that say the same ignorance at a different level, where they're not, their emotional values aren't the same. They're more dense.
Well, it's beautifully that you say, the ascension path, because once I think you learn or encounter your soul for the first time, and then start to explore the soul, because there's so much depth in it. It never really stops. You can ascend to the next level, but then even from that level you can continue, I think. But it's
Who knows? Like, who knows? But all I know that it feels right is what the heart's saying, and the greater good will benefit from it because I've committed my soul for the greater good. But by doing that and understanding, you now get to operate out of a manifesting ego, which will manifest abundance for everybody, manifest abundance for the earth. We can change our reality. Like, we're moving into the realms of magic here, and we don't understand what we're doing, or do we? Because if we're the manifester, whatever we think about becomes.
Yes,
It's said in the past. We've got books here, and in these books it says all that. Like, the beautiful prophets have come, amazing individuals have come to planet Earth and shared this story for years and years and years, but they've been doing it through darker times. We live in great times. Like, we're living in amazing times. Like, we never had as much.
I fully agree. They're vibrant times. They're vibrant, but I'm an optimist by pure nature. But I believe there's chaos in the world, of course, if you look around. But I think chaos is always a predecessor of change, right? You need chaos.
It helps wake people up.
Yes, I mean, but in physics as well. If there's a change in the state, then always when it changes from one state to another, there's always chaos because it needs to reform and regroup and shake out what doesn't belong anymore. Yeah,
like it's like making a soup. When we grow all these beautiful vegetables. We grow all these beautiful vegetables organically grown with our love, and we chop them up into pieces. We throw them all into a pot, and we stir it up, and it's absolute chaos.
Yes,
it turns into something delicious.
Yeah. That's a nice analogy. I like that one.
Yeah. So we've grown them with love, and we see the love.
We're making a soup. No, we're making a beautiful brew, a beautiful stew, like all the mystics and Marvin. Oh no.
You can see this really powerful feminine. They call the witches around stirring us. Whatever's going to be in that is going to be really good. Feel like.
You're going to get a kick out of that.
Because these beautiful feminine understood magic.
Yes, they did.
And the powers to be don't like magicians on them because we get to create a whole new reality. We're not slaves anymore. And that's what this is all about. It's becoming true sovereign selves. So you understand who you are, you understand why you're here, and you live that way.
Yes.
Because everybody has got a core contract that you get to live. It's your birthright to be abundant. Everything that we need is on planet Earth. We don't have to go anywhere. We don't have to go to Mars. Everything is here. Everything. All the other species that live on planet Earth, Michelle, they live in full abundance around them. Unless man has involved themselves where they've put up a fence to control an animal from eating something. But if they're living truly by nature, everything lives in abundance. If it's not there, the birds will fly south to the heat they like warm. They don't need a passport. They don't need a visa. They don't need money to do that.
We're the only ones who seemingly are not able to see that, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Something is stopping us seeing our birthright.
Yes.
And once you decide to commit your soul to becoming the best possible version of yourself, you've made the decision. It's already going to happen. And the more of us that can start thinking this way, the more of us start living this way, you'll start to live in abundance because money just flows. Money is going to stay in existence. It's going to try and
take the only thing, the only part of abundance, right? Abundance is good health, is feeling that inner connection with yourself, being able to love and to receive and to have meaningful relationships.
To know that I am worthy of receiving. That we all have a problem, myself included. How many times did you tell me over the years, Michelle, Austin, you need to receive?
Yeah.
Where I never felt that I was truly worthy of receiving, but I was still helping.
Yes.
But I actually need to learn to receive, because I'm giving and giving and giving, because that's a loving thing to do.
Yeah, and it's quite a thing to be able to really receive, right? I've struggled with it as well. I mean, I'm a giver myself, and it's just to really put yourself open and to be the container and to really
give it to me, baby,
and not flow through you, but keep it, right? I mean, that's